Today we have Dell Inspiron 16 model 5640. It's an Intel Core i5 13th gen laptop. We'll take it apart, we'll see what we can replace, fix or upgrade. So let's start with the bottom screws. It's a Phillips screwdriver. Now use plastic tool and find a gap in between the case bottom and the palmrest and separate these two parts. Don't use metal tool because you may scratch your parts. So work your way around the whole edge until you disconnect all the clips. Alright, the bottom is out. Here we have the part number. Now we have access to all internal components. We can start with disconnecting the battery. Now let's take out all the screws for the battery. So if your battery doesn't hold a charge or it's swollen, and this is how you can replace it. Alright, the battery is out. That's our type number, our part number. If you're searching for your parts, check gotlaptopparts.com. They have most parts that you're gonna need. Okay, now we can take out the SSD drive. That's our storage. So take out this cover. Oops, two more screws here. So now the actual drive, this is the small board here. The metal part, that's just the cover. So that's our NVMe drive. So if your laptop doesn't boot, shows no booting device, or you would like to upgrade to the bigger storage, that's how you do it. Now we can take out the Wi-Fi card. So if your Wi-Fi doesn't work, this is how you can fix the problem. So unscrew the screw on the top. Gently disconnect the antenna wires, they're very fragile. Okay, now you can pull out the Wi-Fi card. Here we have the model number, part number. Now let's check the memory. That's our RAM memory. You can spread those arms and that's how you take it out. That's the DDR5 memory. So you can replace it if it doesn't work, or you can upgrade to the bigger one. That's the pair. Now let's take out the cooling heatsink and the fan. So if your laptop overheats, that's how you disconnect the fan. Overheats or the fan doesn't spin or makes grinding noise, replace this part. So you will need the Phillips screwdriver. Unscrew these two screws. And the fan is out. Here we have the part number. Now you can take out the heatsink. With the heatsink you have to be very careful. Don't bend it, if it won't work if you bend it. It may be stuck to the processor because of the cooling paste, so be gentle when you lift it up. This one wasn't stuck, okay. So that's the part number. Now let's disconnect our speakers. This is how you can replace your speakers. If the sound is bad, replace it. Here we have part number. Now we are taking out the motherboard, so disconnect all the connectors. That's the keyboard connector, backlit connector, touchpad. That's our I/O board with our audio and USB port and the card reader. So let's disconnect it. That's our video cable for the screen. Disconnected. I always close the connector. They're very fragile, so you can break off that retaining clip if you don't do this. Okay, so let's take out all the screws. You have to unscrew hinges as well, because they go above the motherboard. Let's also unscrew the other one, because at some point we're going to be pulling out the I/O board also. So now gently unfold the Palmrest assembly. Alright, our Palmrest is out. Now we can take out the motherboard. This is our motherboard. Here we have the part number. Here we have the DC power jack. So if your laptop it's not getting power, or the jack is broken, this is how you can replace it. Here we have the part number. Now that's our I/O board with our ports and card reader. So if those ports don't work, replace this board. Power button is here, so let's disconnect it. Alright, that's an audio USB card and SD card reader. Here we have the part number. So let's take out the touchpad. Actually, let's start with the upper screws. So it looks like we have to take out all the screws. Okay, so that's our touchpad. Here we have the part number. So now we have our Palmrest keyboard assembly. Keyboard is riveted to the Palmrest, so you cannot replace it. You have to buy the whole part. Here we have the part number. So here we have the power button with our Touch ID. So this is how we can replace it if it doesn't work. That's the power button. And now we have our keyboard Palmrest assembly. you can't take out the keyboard. It's riveted to the palmrest, so you have to buy the whole part. Here we have the part number. So now let's take out the LCD screen. So here, let's start with the... Okay, let's take out the front bezel. Now we are pulling out the LCD screen, so you have to disconnect the front bezel. Use only plastic tools, otherwise you will scratch your screen. And work your way around the whole screen so you can disconnect all the clips. Okay, now the front bezel is out. That's our part number. So now find the pull tab on both sides and pull out the adhesive. Be gentle, don't rip it off. Now we can see the screen is already coming off on this side. Now let's take out the other side. Okay. So now we can lift the screen, and on the back disconnect the video cable. Okay, flip that retaining clip and then slide it out. Alright, so this is our screen model and part number. And here we have access now to the video cable. We can take it out. That's our webcam. Be very careful, this is very thin and fragile. Okay, so here we have the part number for our video cable and the screen. And that's our back cover. Here we have the part number for the back cover. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video.